Hey guys, Magnus here, bringing you another video. This one we're going to be doing over a new event idea that I have. It's been a while since I've come up with a big event idea. Like mini events are kind of easy for me to do, and if you want, guys, I can try and get there like every 2 weeks. I'll get a mini event to you, but these big events are kind of way harder for me to do, just because for the most part, the main big events that I've done, I've already done ideas on. Like the main big events that I can, I can foresee in the future, but this is for a Flanders event. Now I talked about this ages ago in one of my things I want to add, I want to see in the Simpsons tab. I talked about a Flanders event and how it could work, and somebody originally gave me this idea. I'm unsure who it was, but it was like half a year ago, or even maybe a year ago. It was a long time ago. Somebody originally gave me this idea, but basically, it's an event that will revolve even around Ned Flanders. So yeah, let's get into it. So first of all, let's go for crafting. Well, basically the event as overall will go over, it will just revolve around Ned's life. So there will be, stuff that included Ned, stuff that Ned visited. So for example, it's going to start with this here, which is a town that I actually forget the name of, but it's a town that Ned moved to in one episode anyway. So I'll get the there it is, yeah, Humbleton. So you basically get to craft, like the Humbleton Clock Tower, the Humbleton House 1, Humbleton House 2, Humbleton House 3, the Humbleton Well, that kind of thing. So you'll just get maybe like 4 different houses, maybe these 4 here, the Clock Tower and the Well. You get to craft them and make your own little Humbleton. Then you can also craft the Humbleton sign. Ned's family car, you get to craft this. Donnie's Discount Gas, which is basically a gas station that Ned got refuge at when he was getting followed by the bullies, if you guys remember that, when the bullies were following him. So he basically stopped off at Donnie's Discount Gas, so you're just going to get this. It's just a kind of a throwaway thing. The USV Superstore, which is probably where he got his USV from, so you get the USV Superstore and craft that. The abandoned Storytown Village. And this is a skin for the Storytown Village, so you get to craft this skin. You get to craft Baz as well, his family dog, who is an NPC, but you get to craft him anyway. So he'll says Baz, and he'll just kind of walk around. He'll obviously do something when you tap him or something. I don't think he should have tasks. I think he should be an NPC because we don't really know much about him. He's just kind of there. And the final crafting item that you will get is the Grand Canyon. So this is going to be a massive ass, big ass like decoration that you'll get. So it'll be pretty big that you place in your town. And the reason, and this will be a decoration, the reason that it's going to be the final one is basically there is an episode where Homer and Ned go exploring in the Grand Canyon. So it's, it revolves around a Ned kind of episode. So I think it's appropriate to add the Grand Canyon there. Anyway, so the event, so we're gonna unlock the leftophorium or leftorium, whatever you call it, and although it is a mall building, it's gonna be a kind of closed off of his own building. Now they've done this multiple times. There's about 3 or 4 buildings in the game that were actually more buildings, so I think it's completely fine for them to actually add the leftorium as an actual proper building. So this is going to be added as a proper building. It's just going to be like a little open kind of building where you'll just see into the store. So the actual building itself will just be kind of closed off, so we'll just kind of get like this, and then you'll see inside the building. Anyway, and then the Southpaw Superstore, which is another kind of left-hand stop. This is going to be a crafting building. So basically, for this in this building, you'll get to craft new building. You'll get to craft all this stuff inside there when you click this. But you'll unlock this later. And then there's going to be some tappable NPCs, and some people, don't like the tappable NPC. I know it's kind of boring and it is kind of repetitive, but personally, I feel like it's kind of, I like it when I'm kind of neutral about it, really. I don't dislike it and I don't like it. But basically, the tappable NPC for this event is going to be Jose Flanders, Lord Tisselwick Flanders, and Canadian Flanders, or Canadian Ned. These 3 are going to be the NPCs. So this is Flanders, these are 2 Flanders of cousins, and then this is just a Canadian doppelganger of Ned. So basically you get all 3 of these, they'll wander around your town and you'll tap them, and then when the event's closed, when they do the wrap up of the end and the takedown, you'll unlock all these 3 as NPCs. I don't think that they should really have tasks, just because they were there for like they are literally all blink and you miss it. There is another kind of, there is another character in this event that you could argue is a blink and a miss it, but I just feel like he had a little bit more kind of he had a little bit more like screen time, so I feel like he deserves some tasks. But anyway, let's go. So Act 1 store. So basically you'll get the University of Minnesota Spankology protocol with Dr. Foster for 150 donuts. So this is going to be a tapped out exclusive building in a way. It's in the Simpsons, so it's not going to be that bad, but like we've only really seen the inside of the building. We've never seen the outside of the building. So it is going to be it's going to be something that will have to be designed by the tapped out team. So but I think that's completely fine. I think it will work, and of course it will come with Dr. Foster as a character who's appeared quite prominently in a few episodes. But the main episode he was in was obviously the Ned episode, where he was shown to be quite abusive to Ned. And then you get Grandma Flanders for 50 donuts. She's just a character on her own. So this is obviously Ned's grandma, and she's dead now in the show, but she appeared twice quite prominently in the show. So pretty necessary to add. And so here's Act 1. So first of all, you get the Leftorium, and then you get the Southpaw Superstore. So this is the main kind of event building, and then you get the crafting building. The second prize is going to be like Ned's coffin with her grave. Not Ned, sorry, Mod's coffin with her grave. I just think it's necessary to add that, and then they can do some tasks with Mod there. Then you get the Storytown Village, which is a thing that Ned used to work at. He used to obviously work at this place. So you get that, and then you also get the skin for it, which was in the crafting, so where it's all trashed. So yeah. Then you get Left Mart, which is a kind of massive ass mall that sells left-hand products, which kind of put Ned out of business, so you get that too. And then you finally end with Nedwood Sr. and Agnes Flanders as playable characters. And then the Act 2, so that's Act 1, that's all of Act 1. I think it's pretty solid. So the kind of main theme of Act 1 is just the generalise of Ned's life. It's kind of really generalised. Now Act 2 is based primarily around the time he went to Humbleton. So Act 2 is really based around Humbleton. So you get Vicky and Katja for 110 donuts. These are 2 kind of like lesbian Christians who stayed at I don't even know if they are definitely lesbians. I say that, I'm not 100% sure if they are, but they at least I think they did like some sort of like sexy pillow fight online, so they might be. But they're 2 Christian girls anyway that stayed at Ned's, and they caused a lot of trouble for him, and they embarrassed him, so he ended up leaving Springfield. And then you also get Roughing Tumble's Fun Zone, which is a place where Ned's been seen with Rod and Todd, so Ned takes Rod and Todd here, so I think it's appropriate to add that. So that's for 60 donuts, and there'll be some tasks for Rod and Todd to go in there. Like I said, I want this event mainly to... I don't really want Homer to be too involved in this event at all. I want it mainly to be like Ned, Rod and Todd, and Mod, really. So yeah. And then... So you'll get Act 2, for the start, you'll get the Humbleton entrance, which is just this big thing. You'll get Ned's Humbleton home, so this is... the home that Ned obviously stays in when he's at Humbleton. This is his home. You'll get a bunch of crafting. You'll get a bunch of land tokens for you to build. You'll get 5 of them for you to build your Humbleton. You'll get an animation, which is Ned without a mustache, which was one of the requirements for Humbleton. I know he didn't end up doing it, but we have seen Ned without a mustache before, so I think it would work. So you'll actually get to see Ned without a mustache, and that will be his task. A new task / animation. You get the Humbleton Figurine Factory, which is a place where Ned, of course, worked. That's where, of course, he went to go work when he came to Humbleton. And then finally, as the final prize, you get Clay Roberts, who's the guy who moved into Ned's house after Ned went to Humbleton. He's not entirely connected to Ned's story, but I think it kind of works out as a nice kind of final prize, really. And he's a kind of cool character. He's appeared more than once, and he didn't just appear in that episode, he's appeared in multiple episodes, so it's kind of appropriate. And then throughout, between Act 2 and Act 3, there will be a Gills deal. So the things with Gills deals is sometimes they're not completely related. to the event. Now, this one isn't completely related, but it is a little bit. So you'll get the Springfield Playhouse with Chaz Busby and the Jesus Homer costume. Now, the reason that I'm doing this is Ned was auditioning to be Jesus in this play, and then Ned didn't get the part, and he was really upset that he didn't get the part of Jesus. So it is loosely based around Ned still, but it also kind of isn't, and I think it would be an appropriate place to throw in Chaz Busby. So you get Chaz Busby with the Springfield Playhouse, and you also get the Jesus Homer costume. So this will be the Gil's deal. So you get a really cool costume, you get a really cool character, and a pretty decent building. And then Act 3 will come along. So the Act 3 store will have Connie and Bonnie for 100 donuts. This will be one big character, so they'll be like a joint character. So they'll walk around and get together just like Sherry and Terry. You'll get the Baboon Pit for 30 donuts, and this will unlock a new animation for Ned to obviously be attacked by the baboons in the Baboon Pit. So this will just be a big enclosed Baboon Pit with baboons inside of it. And then later on, if they were to add the zoo, you could use this and add this to the actual zoo. And then so the Act 3 store, so the Act 3 thing even, is Springfield. You get Springfield Harbour Cruises, which is a cruise ship that Ned went on to get away with his family. So it is based on Ned. The teacher holding facility, this is where he met Edna. So they can do some stuff with Edna here. Edna and Ned anyway. You get the Flanders new family car. So this is the one he might have had this one actually before the SUV. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, I think he might have had this one before but whatever, you get this one anyway. It's another one of Ned's car. You get Ted Flanders, who is Ned Flanders' brother. So you get him as well. And again, this is the one I was talking about where I said that he kind of was, in a way, a blink and you miss it. But he is also Ned Flanders' brother. He's not just a distant cousin who's appeared once. He is his actual brother. Plus, he has the 2 kids as well. So I just think it makes sense to give him tasks and not the other NPCs. You get the the Christian Schoolboys Academy, which is a place that he was considering to send Rod and Todd, I'm pretty sure. So that works out as well. And then you get the Four Seasons Capital City Hotel. There might be issues obviously adding this because of rights, but and you get this with Sarah Salome, who of course is one of Ned's girlfriends. So yeah, and I think this is kind of a nice way to end the thing. And I feel like Act 1 and 2, Act 1 and 3 are a little bit jumbled with stuff, but I just think that it is all related around Ned, so it worked out quite well. So let's go for tasks. So first we have Nedward Senior. So we have play bongos for 60 minutes. This will be animated. Seek parenting advice for 4 hours. This will be at the Spankology thing. Attend church for 6 hours. Overreact for 12 hours. The overreact will be a little animation, and stay with Ned for 24 hours. And then Agnes has got a little bit different, so she got meditate for 60 minutes, and then also act sassy for 12 hours, and these two will all be animated, but the rest are the same. We have Dr. Foster, show archive footage. This will be him with a little camcorder, just showing footage, and this will be animated. Take a lunch break for 4 hours. This will be over at the Spankology thing. Look for escaped patients for 6 hours. It will be him just looking around. Discipline children for 12 hours. This will be in the Spankology thing. And then wake up in the middle of the night. That will be on the Brown House for 24 hours. And then we have Grandma Flanders, scare children for 60 minutes. This will be animated, her just kind of looking freaky. Take nap for 4 hours. That will be in the Flanders house. Meet people in the retirement home for 6 hours. That will obviously be in the retirement house. Rocking chair for 12 hours. This will be her outside Flanders house, rocking in a chair. Well, I guess she could be anywhere in the street rocking in the chair. And then haunt her family for 24 hours over at the Flanders house. So we have Nikki and Katja. Sexy pillow fight for anime for 60 minutes, and this will be animated. This will be able to be triggered by either one, but it will in turn include the other one. So they did this a couple times. They do it with Legs and Louie as well. Like there's a task where you can start it by either character, but it will include the other one. Atone for Sins, attend church. Atone for Sins will be the church. Attend church will obviously be the church. Sofa Surf for 12 hours. This could actually be animated. It would just be them going to house. Actually, yeah, that would be better being animated. It would just be the two of them going house to house, like obviously sofa surfing. Just like Legs and Louie go like store to store. I really like that. So basically anything that classifies as a house, they'll go to, and they'll just keep going to house. And then there's the exact same for both of them. So but I think that's fine. We have Clay, lift weights for 60 minutes, this will be animated. Move stuff into Ned's for 4 hours, that'll be at Ned's house. Annoy neighbours for 6 hours at Ned's house. Bully Homer for 12 hours at the Simpsons house. And then play loud music for 24 hours, that'll be him carrying like a boombox. Charles Busby, dance for 60 minutes, that'll be animated. Direct play for 4 hours over at his studio thing. Shout Kids for 6 hours, it'll be him just kind of shouting, running around the town. Accept Praise for 8 hours, this will be as his dance academy. Mock competition for 12 hours, that will probably be as dance academy, but once they add in the other dance academy, I forget who it's owned by, they can send him there. And then Be Arrogant for 24 hours, that'll be him looking like an arrogant son of a bitch, and that'll be animated. We got Jesus Homer, carry the cross for 60 minutes, that'll be animated. Put on costume for 4 hours, that will be at Chaz Busby's thing. Give a sermon for 6 hours, that will be animated. Drink in the interlude for 8 hours, that will be at Chaz Busby's thing as well. Regret taking this role for 12 hours over at the Simpsons house, and then be crucified for 24 hours, and that will also be animated. Him in the middle of the road, just on a cross, which I think would look awesome. So we have Connie and Bonnie, be good for 60 minutes. That will be animated. That will be just them walking around basically. Attend school for 6 hours. That shouldn't be animated. I don't know why I put animated. Attend church for 8 hours. That will be at the church. Visit family for 12 hours, and then teach other kids about God for 24 hours, and that will be also in the school. We have Sarah. So kiss actor for 60 minutes for 60 minutes, and that will be animated. That will be her kissing the actor that she did, which Ned sort of got jealous over. Argue with director for 4 hours. That could be anywhere really. I'm trying to think what that would be. That could be the hotel actually. Wear dress for 6 hours. That will actually be animated. I should have put animated. That will be her wearing that red dress you saw in before. Visit the Leftorium for 8 hours. Obviously, you know what that will be. Dance with Ned for 12 hours. That will be animated. And then stay at Ned's for 24 hours. And Ned's house. We have Ted Flanders, wave to neighbours for 60 minutes, that'll be animated. Hand out flyers for 4 hours, that will be animated. Attend church for 8 hours. Visit family for 12 hours, that'll be at Ned's house. And spend time with kids for 24 hours, that will probably also be at Ned's house and include Connie and Bonnie. And that's it. So yeah, so that's it for the Flanders event. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tell me your thoughts on this event. I think this could work. I think that it does need a little bit of tweaking, of course. It's not perfect, but I feel like a few more buildings, a few more things to craft, a few more decorations, and this definitely could be a perfect event. So yeah, thanks for watching. Tell me your thoughts, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.